News 4. You're up to date every hour. News 4, right now. This is News 4, this hour.
Good morning, I'm Carol Goldsmith. It will soon cost you more to fill up at the gas pumps. On Saturday, the price per gallon will go up a nickel as the federal gas tax increase kicks in. The increase comes just as the gas prices have begun to stabilize in the past few weeks. This means an average gallon of gasoline will cost $1.35 a gallon. That's a 35-cent increase from this time last year. More news in 1 hour on WYFF News 4.
One of these three ladies is Carrie Fisher's talented housekeeper. Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Gloria Creighton.
Number 2.
My name is Gloria Creighton.
Number 3.
My name is Gloria Creighton.
Only one of these people is the real Gloria Creighton and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now let's meet our panel. Actor and raconteur Orson Bean. Star of Mama's Family, Vicki Lawrence Schultz. Sports commentator and author Jay Johnstone. And to tell the truth's very own Kitty Carlisle. Here's the host of To Tell the Truth, Lynn Swan.
Thank you very much. Kitty, it's good to see you back.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
What a wonderful escort. Your leg is much better, but Jay
I've thrown
Johnstone.
the brace away, I've thrown the cane away, and I had this wonderful fellow to bring me down the stairs.
First time for you to be on the show. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's get right to the story presented by our first team of challengers, all three of whom claim to be Gloria Creighton. And here's her story. Please read along with me. I, Gloria Creighton, played a housekeeper in the hit movie Postcards from the Edge. You might call me a victim of typecasting because I'm not only a housekeeper in the movies, I'm also a housekeeper in real life. And my boss? It's none other than the actress and best-selling author of Postcards from the Edge, Carrie Fisher. In fact, Carrie puts a clause in all her movie contracts that there has to be a part for me. I've also appeared in From Here to Maternity, and I'm scheduled to do the upcoming Christmas in Vegas. My big break came when my sister, who works for Debbie Reynolds, was too shy and turned down the part. So far, I love my life in the movies. But even if they promise me an Oscar and a star on Hollywood Boulevard, I still don't do windows. Signed, Gloria Creighton. We're going to find out more about this Hollywood starlet right after this.
Do you get colds?
About 4 a year.
Here's 2 cold medicines. Choose one.
I'd probably go with the Sudafed.
Which one of these would you choose? This relieves these 3 symptoms, this 9.
Number 9.
Why?
When I have a cold, I get a pain that travels across the front of my face where it's like the head's in a vice because of the congestion.
Here's what you chose.
Sudafed does 3 symptoms, and Tristan will cover 9. My choice is maximum strength Tristan.
Tristan relieves 9 tough cold symptoms.
I'm gonna try it.
Here's a great big idea.
Salad shooter.
From Presto, professional salad shooter slicer shredder. Big capacity and power. Special blades to point and slice thick, slice thin, shred, even ripple cut. Right where you want.
Salad shooter.
From Presto.
Usually, I'm all business. But it looks like somebody wants to see a more colorful side to Joe Montana. Well, as long as it's Haynes, it's all right by me.
Whoa, Joe.
All right, panel. All three of these people claim to be Gloria Creighton, the movie star housekeeper. We'll start with you, Kitty.
Thank you. Number 1, what was your first part?
I did a movie, HBO movie called From Here to Maternity.
And number 2, who cooks breakfast when you're working? There's someone else that cooks breakfast. Oh, and number 3, what time do you go to work?
No special time.
And number 2, who is Mike Nichols?
He was the one, he was the producer on a Postcard from the Edge.
And number one, which do you like best? Being a housekeeper in real life or being a housekeeper when you're playing a housekeeper?
Being one in real life.
You like that better? Oh, you're no real actress.
Jay.
Number one, your sister. You still friends with your sister after this part?
Yes, she sort of regrets not having done it.
Number two, do you have a husband, a family, anyone else?
I have 2 kids. I don't have a husband.
What do those kids feel about your part in the movies?
They love it.
Number three, what about you? Same question. Husband, family,
I have a family. I have 2 children also.
and their feelings.
They love it.
Number one, if you had your choice, would you get out and do nothing but movies, or you want to stay in housekeeping?
I'd still stay a housekeeper.
Still stay in housekeeping.
She loves her job. Vicki.
Number one, what's the silliest thing that happened to you on the set?
Just trying to remember my lines and where I was supposed to be. That was
That was silly?
It was scary.
Number two, anything embarrassing happened to you in the movie?
Not really, no.
Number three, how many days did you work on this film?
3.
3 days only? And number one, what does Carrie like to work for?
Carrie's real nice and real generous.
Uh-huh.
Of course she's gonna say that. Orson.
Number two, isn't she worried you're going to become a star and then you ain't going to come and work for her anymore?
I don't think she's worried about that.
Number three, is she a slob around the house? You can tell us.
No, she's not.
Doesn't she? I know she's a writer now and she's an actress. She's got scripts. She's got pages from her. Doesn't she leave stuff all over the floor that you have to pick up?
Not really.
Well, you must be the real one, though. You're being very loyal.
Orson's working for the National Enquirer.
Absolutely. Now, what did Meryl Streep play at number one?
She played an actress, and her mother was played by Shirley MacLaine.
At number two, was it an autobiographical? I mean, the novel and the screenplay. Is it pretty autobiographical?
Yes,
you can tell her. What's the good stuff that she didn't put in there? What does she leave out?
I don't think I better tell that.
Oh, but there is stuff. Right?
Orson, thank you. That bell means the time is up, and it's time for you to vote, panel, for either number one, number two, or number three. Our team of challengers will receive $500 for each incorrect vote with a guarantee of $1,000. And if our panel is completely full, they'll receive $3,000. So, panel, if you're ready to cast your ballots, Kitty, we start with you.
Wait, I got the wrong one. No, wait a minute. There we are. I turned them over and I didn't see the right one. Number one is very kind and good, and I must say, Miss Fisher comes out an absolute dream employer. You all love working for her, and she's very generous. But I believe number three, who comes into work whenever she wants to.
That's a great job to have. Jay.
I thought number two was really too beautiful to be a housekeeper. I like the short and concise answers of number one, so that's why I picked number one.
Okay. Vicki?
Well, they're all pretty cute. I was sure I was going to go for number one, but for the same reason when she said she comes to work whenever the hell she wants to. I said, well, it's got to be number three. We understand.
That sounds like a housekeeper with a secure job, doesn't it? Yes. Orson.
I voted for number one because she is beautiful. Princess Leia wouldn't have an ugly-looking housekeeper already.
Okay. Now, the votes are all in. We have 2 votes for number one, no votes for number two, and 2 votes for number three. Well, who better to pick out Gloria than her real boss, Carrie Fisher. Please welcome Carrie Fisher. Carrie? Who is it? Do you remember what she looks like?
I can't remember.
She's a star now.
She comes in whenever she wants.
She does. It's number three. Gloria, we'll get right back to you in just a moment. First, let's meet your imposters, okay? Number one, what's your name and what do you do?
I'm Louisa Abernathy, and I work as a public relations consultant.
Wonderful. Number two, your name?
My name is Seville Beebe, and I'm a skin consultant. I do facials.
Wonderful, and your skin looks absolutely wonderful. We should call her up. Well, there were 2 incorrect votes at $500 apiece. That'll be $1,000 for your team. Now, Gloria and Carrie, we have a piece of film from Postcards on the Edge. And Postcards from the Edge, excuse me. And let's take a look at it right now.
Suzanne, your mother wants you inside to cut the cake.
There it is. Now, Carrie, what else do you have planned for Gloria? We could tell she's got a great film presence.
I plan to make her a cult figure, you know. So it's like
all the movies.
The Rocky Horror Show, there'll be the Gloria Creighton night, Saturday night at midnight, everybody dressed like Gloria. Yeah, she's going to be an enormous star.
Gloria, I mean, when you did the part, I mean, how many takes did it take you to get your line down?
About 6.
About 6? Just, was Carrie back there giving you coaching lessons?
Not really.
She was very, very good. She was very right for the part, and she went through the crew like wildfire.
Terrific, terrific. Well, I guess there's no chance you come to work for me in Pittsburgh, and... No way. Okay. Thank you very much, all of you, especially you, Carrie, for coming out and being here today on To Tell the Truth. It was terrific.
Thank you.
We'll be back with a man who treats accident victims before the ambulance.
At Westminster Kennel Club, 2,900 of the finest dogs in America came to compete. And after 2 exciting days, one fact became abundantly clear. Pedigree food for dogs was the overwhelming choice of winners. More champions were raised on pedigree than all other dog foods combined. 96 best of breed winners, 5 of 7 best in group winners, and the dog judged best in show, a perfect Pekingese, were all pedigree dogs. Pedigree, developed with vets.
New Sun Rinse Downy dryer sheets. Smells like hanging your wash in the sunshine.
Come on in, light. Come on in, fresh. Come on into the sunshine.
With new Sun Rinse Downy dryer sheets.
Welcome back to Tell the Truth. It's time to meet our next team of challengers.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Judge Arthur Kaplan.
Number 2.
My name is Judge Arthur Kaplan.
Number 3.
My name is Judge Arthur Kaplan.
It's up to you, panel, to locate the real Arthur Kaplan, and here is his story. Follow me, please. I, Arthur Kaplan, am a municipal court judge, but that is only a small part of my dedication to public service. I devote almost 40 hours every week to my city's rescue services. I cruise the city listening for accidents and crime reports on my police, fire, and hospital radios. I respond to these calls myself. It is my responsibility to stabilize the condition of a victim in a life-threatening emergency situation. Over the years, I've treated more than 20,000 victims. I've received 7 certificates of merit from the Red Cross from 5 American presidents. It's the highest award ever given for saving human life. But I'm most proud of the Medal of Honor I received from my city's police department. Signed, Arthur Kaplan. And here comes the judge, Orson.
Mercy, I've heard of ambulance chasing lawyers, but you're a judge and you get there before the ambulance. Number 2, have you, in fact, do you believe in your heart that you have been responsible for saving lives?
Oh, yes, I have.
How many people's lives do you reckon you've saved?
Well, I've received certificates for 7, probably 15.
That's amazing. Now, number 3, this is just something that you do out of the goodness of your heart. You're not paid in any way for this, right?
No, sir.
Number 1, when do you find time to sleep? I mean, how many hours a week do you work as a judge?
I work as a judge 40 hours plus a week, and the balance of my time I volunteer.
I think that's extraordinary. Oh,
Orson, thank you. Vicki.
Number 1, do you have a family?
Yes, I do.
So you just do this to and from work?
I do this on my spare time, which is when I'm through with my judicial responsibility.
And number 2, how does your family feel about this?
They're very proud of what I do.
Are you, number 3, are you handing this down to anybody or passing this tradition on?
Not that I know of.
What city? Oh, I want to know what city. Just what city. One little question. One little
Pass
question.
it on to Jay. Maybe he can handle it.
City there, Jay.
Go ahead, Jay.
Number 3, have you ever seen any of your victims in court?
Occasionally.
Number 2, have you ever heard about being sued for being a good Samaritan?
No.
What about you, number 1? Same question. You ever heard
Never occurred to me.
Number 2, when you do this stuff, do you have medical equipment in your car?
Yes, I do.
What kind of medical equipment, number 3?
We have bandages, bags for resuscitation, splints, oxygen, things like that.
Number 1, what's the longest it's taken for the emergency unit to arrive that you had to do your work?
It was when a lady was having a baby. It took about 15 minutes, and I was in, first time for me, I was in panic.
Number 2, any problems with any police departments? Let's say you're saving a life, maybe a mugger comes up or something's happened, a shooting's been there, the guy's still around. Any fear for your life?
No. No.
Okay, thank you. Kitty.
Number 1, are you a doctor?
No, I'm not.
Are you, number 2, are you trained by the Red Cross?
Yes, I'm a trained.
And number 3, you said you weren't passing this along to your knowledge. Does that mean you don't have any children?
I have 3 children.
Number 2, where do you sit?
In the District of Columbia.
And number 3, where do you sit?
Atlanta, Georgia.
And number 1, when you find these victims on the street, are they glad to see you, or do they think you're just some stray passerby? Do you wear any kind of equipment?
No, I have my civilian clothes.
And what do they say?
Well, the conscious ones say, I'm glad to see you.
the others just lie there. Time is up, panel. That means, once again, it's time for you to vote for either number 1, number 2, or number 3. And we'll start this time with Orson Bean.
Well, these guys are great. There are 2 of them. I mean, there could have been all 3. I voted for number 3 because he sounds like he's from Atlanta, and I don't know why anyone would make that up. And sounds like it could happen in Atlanta. On the other hand, number 1's, how long have I been sleeping?
Okay, Vicki.
Logical. I love the logic on this panel. I like the way he walked, so I voted for number 1. No, I have no idea why. I voted for number 1.
You walk like a judge.
I like the answers by number 1, but I just have a feeling number 3 gave a little bit better answer.
Okay.
Gee, that's interesting. I thought number 2 gave the best answers up to a certain point. Number 1 was wonderful, but I voted for number 3.
Okay, the votes are all in. I'm having a hard time understanding the logic of this panel today. Number 1 has a single vote, number 2 has none, and number 3 has 3 votes. Well, let's find out who the real life giver is with a real Arthur Kaplan. Please, stand up. And you were right, panel. Well, all but Vicki.
That was a little too logical.
Arthur, we'll get right back to you. Let's find out who your imposters are. Number 1, your name and what do you do?
My name is Andy Andikian, and I'm vice president with Certified Grocers of California.
Not a judge, he feeds people. Number 2, your name, what do you do?
My name's E.R. Davies, and I do data management for a sports promotion company.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here. Well, there was 1 incorrect vote, so you'll receive the $1,000 guarantee. And as a surprise, Arthur, we have someone here that we want to introduce, Officer Don Eubanks, whose life was saved by you. Here he is, Officer Eubanks. Arthur, now it was 13 years ago that you saved his life. What happened?
Oh, he was trying to arrest a man that had just cut his wife. And Don had a nightstick, he was trying to knock the knife out of his hand. The guy slashed Don through the brachial artery in his arm, and he doggone near bled to death.
Officer, I mean, when you saw Arthur coming up to you, I mean, what was the situation? What was going through your mind?
I was about bled out. I was feeling pretty good. You know, you feel pretty warm at that time, but I was glad to see Arthur again.
Yeah, you thought it might have been over, huh?
I felt up better when he got there.
All right. Well, I'm glad he was there for your sake. Thank you all for being here today and for playing to tell the truth. We'll be back to play one-on-one with someone from our studio audience right after this.
One in 4 adults faces the risk of heart disease from high cholesterol. A diet low in saturated fat and cholesterol with new Fleischmann's Extra Light can help change those odds. Fact is, no leading spread is lower in saturated fat. Another fact, 0 cholesterol. And on top of everything, it tastes good. New Fleischmann's Extra Light.
Hallmark designed these enchanting new ornaments to come to life and light up Christmas trees. But then something magical happened. They had the same effect on people. Magic ornaments only at Hallmark, where Christmas traditions begin.
Potpourri! But we're more than just potpourri. I'm the only potpourri carpet deodorizer with genuine Arm & Hammer baking soda to absorb odors and freshen naturally.
And I'm the only air freshener with Arm & Hammer baking soda. The natural way to deodorize tough bathroom odors and make the air potpourri fresh.
I freshen the carpet.
And I freshen the air.
Natural freshness.
From the baking soda experts.
Devastation.
Look out! He was breaking up their structure.
Get down!
Destruction.
Hang on! Just hang on!
Jack!
We gotta get out of here!
He's a shark!
And disguise.
It's just a fake! It's a trick!
End in a fury of desire.
Carrie!
Days of Our Lives on NBC.
We might die down here.
It's now time to play one-on-one with someone from our studio audience. So, Burton, who do you have for us today?
Well, Lynn, today we have Karen Stevens from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Welcome, Karen. Karen, here's your chance to play one-on-one. You're about to meet a young lady who has two stories. Please welcome Bridget Wilson. Welcome, Bridget. Now, Karen, Bridget is going to tell you two stories, only one of which is the truth. And if you can spot that true story, you'll win $500. So, Bridget, what's your first story?
I'm a 17-year-old high school student and recently was crowned Miss Teen USA.
Now, that may or may not be the truth, so listen to Bridget's second story.
Soon, I'll be moving to Sacramento. My father, Senator Pete Wilson, is the new governor-elect of California.
Now, panel, to help Karen win $500, you'll ask one question about each story. Let's start with the first story, Miss Teen. Kitty?
Thank you. Miss Teen, dear, did you have a special talent when you won the crown?
There wasn't a talent required in the Miss Teen USA
It wasn't.
pageant, no.
Jay?
Where was the event held?
It was held in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Vicki?
What made you decide to compete?
A few suggestions from people and just a sudden urge of common interest. I thought it'd be fun.
Orson?
Well, you're beautiful enough to be Miss Teen America or Miss Teen USA. Since you are, do you have more boys coming on to you or fewer boys coming on to you?
This is a good question. I think they're all running away, or where are they? I haven't found out.
Sounds like there's fewer. Okay, Karen, that's the first story. Now, the second story, Pete Wilson.
Did you campaign for your father?
No, I didn't. I was just the support system in the background.
Jay?
What kind of support system in the background?
At home, a lot. It's so busy. He's out doing the political campaigning and things all the time that at home it's kind of nice to come home just to regular family dinner and just have the support of a family, not campaign all the time.
Vicki?
Does this mean that you're going to be changing schools and going to a whole new school up in Sacramento?
Yes, I'm going to be changing for my senior year. Actually, it's kind of exciting for me.
Orson?
Well, Bridget, if you have to live in Sacramento, at least you have a nice house. Do you look forward to moving to the Athens of California?
I think it's going to offer a lot of new challenges. I'm looking forward to it as a student in high school and as a move since I've been in San Diego all my life.
All right, Karen, you've heard the cross-examination. Is Bridget Miss Teen, or is she moving to the governor's mansion in California?
Well, I think her answers seem more sincere on the second one, so I would say that she's Pete Wilson's daughter.
Well, Bridget, what is your true story?
To tell the truth, I am Miss Teen USA.
I'm sorry, Karen, you didn't win the money. You have a lovely gift for you. But Bridget, because you stumped Karen, you'll receive $1,000. Thank you very much
for having me.
We'll be right back after this.
Miss Alaska, so Miss Teen USA is the door. Congratulations. You are the Miss USA.
here I am, 40 and dating again.
How Colgate Tartar Control gave Jan her smile back.
I took a really good look at myself, and my smile didn't look clean. My dentist removed the tartar and said Colgate Tartar Control helps keep it off.
Perfect.
Colgate fights the tartar that traps bacteria and stains for cleaner teeth.
Feels good to smile again.
I love to see you smile.
Colgate Tartar Control, because your smile was meant to last a lifetime.
If your sinus medicine puts you to sleep, you need Sudafed Sinus to relieve sinus headaches and sinus pressure without drowsiness. Sudafed Sinus. Fast relief, not fast asleep.
What makes everything so whip-smacking? Lip-smacking, ah, good. Cool Whip someone with that whipped creamy taste. Cool Whip's the one.
Thank you for joining us here on To Tell the Truth. We'll see you the next time. Goodbye, everyone.
This is Burton Richardson speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Goodsman television production.
They seemed like the perfect family,
To my mother, I love you.
but they were kept apart by their mother's secret.
I can't stand it anymore.
Please come home. Inspired by a true story of a shattered family.
Why is she shutting us out?
They wanted to know what it meant to love each other. They need you. Rue McClanahan in her most inspiring performance.